This week's word of the week comes from Psalm chapter 118, verse 24, where it says, "This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it." I always heard this verse to mean that today is the day the Lord has made, that God has made for us a new day today, and that we should choose joy in it. And in fairness, that's true. That today is a day that God has made for us and that we should choose joy in it. However, I think that if that is all that we take this verse to mean, we do it a great disservice. Because when we take Psalm chapter 118, verse 24, and we zoom out, we start to see verses talking about how the stone that the builders rejected becomes the cornerstone. We see verses talking about how God has delivered his people with his mighty right hand. We see verses talking about this great victory that God has brought. So when we take chapter 118, verse 24, and we zoom out, we see Jesus. And we start to understand that this day that the Lord has made is this day 2,000 years ago where God sent his Son to save his people. And that the very people that Jesus came to save would reject him, but that he would surrender himself, sacrifice himself to death on a cross so that we could be saved. That he would give himself so that we could go from death into life, slave into freedom, that we would go from being sinners to sons and daughters of God. This is the day that the Lord has made, and I will rejoice and be glad in it. So remember this week the great gift that God has given us and his boundless love for us, that he would give his Son to die for us. And go and rejoice in it. God bless. Have a great week.